real with you guys. Then you can also get a budget string trident. It's the warped scepter they drop. Yeah, 56 layer ain't bad. And we could get one shark while we do, because I do Connor tasks right now. I do them because of the Brimstone chest. But we might. Now we starting? Let's fucking go. I hope you have an amazing stream ahead of you, brother. I got you. I got you. Where?
Stop asking questions and continue in motion. I guess that's what I'm trying to say is I can't decide when I'm playing.
See, hello, let's say welcome everybody. We are going to get this day started up. I can't hear anything currently, but that's okay. But it's start. Alright. What? Let's get into this thing. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Oh, you're ready to go. All right. That's the new opening track, actually, for the streams. To tell you the truth, that was the first time I actually used it in its entirety. I hope you guys liked that one. That was made by Hardwire. He's a good friend of mine. Yeah. Welcome to some PoE2. So this game has been giving me a lot of shit lately, so I don't know how well this is gonna work. Like, I don't know if it's my drivers or whatever, but NVIDIA sure as shit screwed the pooch on this one lately with the updated driver. But welcome, Pastori Elman. Thanks for the heart and the hangouts. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're all having a great morning. We're gonna right into grinding. Oh, the names look a little stupid this morning, but that's what we're fucking going with. I used my cell phone and had done the hashtag for it. You know, I'm not gonna lie, it looked pretty stupid. At least I'm self-aware. At least I'm self-aware. Now, I'm gonna pull back some of these, like, let me pull back this camera so you guys I know you all like to see my face and everything, but you know, I mean, pull it back a little bit. Let's pull it back. Let us pull it back. Close that. And we'll do a little bit of the filter. Change that filter a little bit so it's not as crazy. There you go. But yeah, so what we're gonna do, everybody, just so you know how this goes, we are currently level 79, and what I'm looking to do is hit level 80 today. Let's see how this actually fucking goes, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little upset with this game. Welcome, everyone. Don't know what the fuck's going on, why it's not gonna change. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna put some fucking music in the background. Oh, sweet, the actual game. There we go. Let's try to do it correctly. I'm thinking of changing out flammability and putting it in with my like other items, but I'm not sure yet. That right there, that rattling scepter is fucking insane looking. Excellent mana. Let's think, everybody. Let's think. Also, I want to put on some music. I'm gonna put on some background music. The fuck? My YouTube got like backed out. Well, let's listen to some Lilith. Hmm. Yeah, I want my mix for loyalists. But yeah, yo, welcome everybody. Hope you're having a great morning. Holy shit. Yesterday I got a little bit of a boost from a friend of mine. Atomic Tampon. And Atomic Tampon, once again, shout out to you, dude. Thank you for the hookup and the knowledge. I really mean it though. Like seriously, the knowledge is the biggest part. Let me see my close-up camera. Oh. All right. So, one other thing I'm gonna do is go all the way back and do. I think I promoted everywhere, and I didn't. Ah, that's why that happened. That's annoying. Hold on. Sorry, everybody. Holy shit. What the fuck, man? That's why. Alright, and now I'm gonna go down to my the Discord I hang out in. So, okay. Get that here, same day. Yeah. I wonder what would be 295 or 232. This is how I try to determine whether they're like worth it for me or not. Yeah, I am so fucking ecstatic to say this. Yo, listen, he fucking Atomic hooked it up so well yesterday. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel my character is way stronger than it was before.
Yes.
I just having the knowledge that I know. By the way, another thing I'm gonna start doing is these fucking Jinbarias. I want to do one, but 7 trials. Well, regardless, this is what we're gonna do. Maps. Maps, maps, maps. Maps, maps, maps. We're going to smash the maps. Yeah, that is so cool that you told me that shit. Alright, we're gonna go and right and do some of these maps. Max, you miss. Hey, Max. Let me start this up, and then what I'm gonna do is make sure my cat is good to go. Everyone, give me a moment, all right? I'll be right back. Come on, Max. Let's go. Make sure you got some food. You're out. I'm back, everyone. Wanted to feed my cat. How it is? Hey, you right by the little guy? Okay. Hmm. All right, we're ready. Here we go. Let me also put on a little background noise. Oh, jeez. We're gonna watch Asmongold. I'm gonna put Asmongold in the background, everybody, so don't mind it. Okay.
The gathered delegates and luminaries and media professionals, and thanks especially to the host of the Munich Security Conference for being able to put on such enough to be given political power by our respective peoples to use it wisely to improve their lives. And I want to say that, you know, I was fortunate in my time here to spend some time outside the walls of this conference and I've been people, even as, of course, as they're reeling from yesterday's horrendous attack. And the first time
they had a crazy guy drove a truck into I think it was like 18 people, 30 something people, I'm not really sure exactly. And he was a migrant who had been told to leave, but they didn't get rid of him, and then he killed a kid. I don't know if other people died in the process. 28, yeah, the numbers were uncertain yesterday.
I was ever
It's nuts.
was with my wife, actually, who's here with
It's nuts.
Obey me. I need more mana.
What's up, dude? What's up, man? Hey, Max. Max Smith. Hey, Max.
We also see important in the coming years for
Max.
to step up in a big way
Hey.
to provide for
I'm gonna give you some treat, okay?
The threat that I worry the most about vis-a-vis Europe is not Russia, it's not China, it's not any other external actor. And what I worry about is
I'll throw out my cat some treats.
the retreat of Europe from some of its most fundamental values, values shared with the United States of America.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Fuck.
Bro, he went there just to talk shit about him. I think he's right, by the way.
What?
I agree with him.
Now, I was
What?
struck, a former European commissioner went on television recently.
I mean,
and sounded
they did take away a lot of the people's rights over in Europe, so
just annulled an entire election.
Wow.
He warned that if things don't go to plan, the very same thing could happen in Germany too. Now, these cavalier statements are shocking to American ears. For years, we've been told that everything we fund
They
and
annulled an election? That seems a little bit,
yeah, that's a little nuts.
of our
What did they do?
democratic values.
All right, yeah. Listen, I'm all about personal freedom and to be held accountable.
Of democracy.
You know,
But when we see European courts
as long as you like actually and like damage somebody else's life,
does not seem democratic.
canceling elections is not democratic.
We ought to ask whether we're holding ourselves to an appropriately high standard. And I say ourselves because I fundamentally believe that we are on the same team. We must do more than talk about democratic values, we must live them. Now, within living memory of many of you in this room, the Cold War positioned defenders of democracy against much more tyrannical forces on this continent. Consider the side in that fight that censored dissidents, that closed churches, that canceled elections. Were they the good guys? Certainly not. And thank God. To invent, to build. As it turns out, you can't mandate innovation or creativity, just as you can't force people what to think, what to feel, or what to believe.
try,
And we
though.
believe those things are certainly connected. And unfortunately, when I look at Europe today, it's sometimes not so clear.
shoot anybody. If anything, I mean, I feel like we're down one, right? Because like they shot a Trump supporter in January 6th. So, I mean, you know, I feel like the deep state is +1. But the fact is that like
As in, you are a little that is a little loony.
elections, though, right?
That is a little loony, my guy.
Like in Europe, you have elections.
They obviously annul some elections, don't they?
They're rigged. I really
A day of action. I looked at Sweden, where 2 weeks ago the government convicted a Christian activist for participating in Koran burning that resulted in his friend's murder.
There's no way that's true, right?
I need more mana.
There's no way.
Now. Mana.
Oh my god. And then when they do, we have another fucking world problem.
More mana.
A world level crisis because it's coming out. That's exactly what I feel like it's inevitable, right? I mean, am I fucking crazy?
And as the judge is giving a chilling notice, Sweden's laws chosen to protect free expression do not, in fact, grant, and I'm quoting, a free pass to do or say anything without risking offending the group that holds that belief.
Fuck.
I am so glad to be an American. Like, this is insane. Oh my god. That's so dumb. Yeah. What he said is true. Sweden is currently cooked. This is awful.
And perhaps most concerningly, I look to our very dear friends, the United Kingdom. Where the backslide away from conscience rights has placed the basic liberties of religious Britons in particular in the crosshairs. A little over 2 years ago, the British government charged Abby Smith Connor, a 51-year-old physiotherapist and an Army veteran, with the heinous crime of standing 50 meters from an abortion clinic and silently praying for 3 minutes.
Dude, like, I feel like people would be spamming if these things weren't true, right? Like, I would have probably seen it if it wasn't true. Because, like, I'm the kind of person, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. These are extraordinary claims. This is outrageous. You have no idea how bad it really is?
To who though?
Oh my god.
To who though? Is it so bad? If you're talking about
Just ignore the evidence? Why?
religious persecution, there's a lot of it going throughout the world at this point. The way people are being fucking treated, they're just saying that they're standing outside an abortion clinic because they don't believe in abortion. But are you blocking people from getting in? What else is there that there's going on? Because if there's, well, I would say give me video evidence of this. Because here in the United States, I've seen some shit. So I don't really like.
Found guilty of breaking the government's new buffer zones law, which criminalizes
Oh, yeah, that-
prayer and other actions that could influence a person's decision within 200 meters of an abortion.
Don't break the law that's in place.
Now.
You don't like it. You know? It's their right to impose the laws.
Oh my god! You know, I used to criticize like places like Saudi Arabia and Dubai.
And definitely not doing it for the right reasons this time, man. I've seen people fucking.
I feel like.
Oh man, I've been a part of a anti
He was sentenced to
uh
pay
what
thousands
is
of
it
pounds in legal costs.
anti we were protesting a
Now, the
protest
worst I could say was a fluke, crazy example of a bad
abortion
law
clinic.
being enacted against a single
We got
Fairly
permission
current
to
government in
come
the US
over
ignored grooming
with
gains out of
like
fear of
we got permission from the abortion clinic to throw a outdoor rave and just drown out anything that the other protesters were doing. Like we were just so loud. They got so mad that we were allowed there to do that. That shit was mad funny.
being called racist. It's absolutely disgraceful. There's no way it's that bad, right? Like, because the thing is, like, that's why I haven't gone hard on this, is because it's just so ridiculous. I can't even acknowledge that it's real.
He's the example of a badly written law being enacted against a single person. But no, this last October, just a few months ago, the Scottish government began distributing letters to citizens.
And it's an opinion that you don't like it. That's another thing. Is like, you know, it's an opinion that you don't like how people are being quote unquote mistreated without video or picture proof. I don't. They're not bringing any pictures or video evidence of what this dude is saying right now at all. This is just speculation. It's coming from his mouth, from someone's ears to now all this
The
platform.
government urged readers to report any fellow citizen suspected guilty of thought crime. And
See, that's a different story. I've seen them do some stuff though, which
1936.
yeah, and I get this. They definitely have fucked up laws over there that you can get arrested for the things you say. Like if you look up their talking online and saying things online policies in Europe and how the United States is definitely like different. There's some parts of Europe where it's just like and this is what I believe. I've been watching people who have criticized the government over there. It's been like either arrested. They must have said some shit though. You know, like if you're threatening the government in any which way, I absolutely believe you're an idiot. I don't care what side of the coin you are on. Don't threaten the government, and I don't mean like don't threaten people either. Like actual people. Don't threaten groups of people, individuals, specific individuals. You know what I mean? Like that's extremely stupid. Like realistically, like and there's like the think of it. You don't yell fire in a crowded movie theater. You know what I mean? There's some things that you're just you shouldn't fucking say. You know, you shouldn't be threatening politicians. That is really dumb. You shouldn't be threatening anyone that online. Never make a paper trail, you fucking idiots. No paper trails. Holy fucking shit. Right? And don't think that doesn't include, that includes all forms of communication. You know, like, unless you're doing face-to-face talking, which probably has camera or an audio device somewhere around it, you too can get, yeah, ratted on quickly. You know? Yeah. This is just a little ridiculous. I understand the meaning of freedom when they're talking about it, but it's so like fucking, it's something. This is something different.
He didn't go over to America and then like 1984. He was in Britain. No, he wrote 1984 in 1948 or 49. The book came out, and it was written, and part of it was informed in his experiences when he was in Spain in 1936. Somewhere around there. I could be off by a couple of years.
Britain and across Europe, free speech, I feel, is in jeopardy. And in the interest of comedy, my friends, but also in the interest of
I
truth,
wouldn't even say it's refreshing. Yeah, like it's crazy. Like I wonder what a person is like that's defending this stuff. It's crazy. It's hard to believe because you've been enjoying your life, not troubling yourself with Warcraft. This hasn't been going on for a long time. Cancel culture in the EU is way worse than in the US. How would they actually enforce that? Well, who cares whether you can enforce it or not? If the law's on the books and the law is bullshit, then you've got a problem, don't you?
Bullshit to who?
the loudest voices for
Hey,
censorship
seriously.
come not from within Europe, but from within my own country, where the
Yep.
prior administration threatened and bullied social media companies to censor so-called misinformation. Misinformation like, for example, the idea that coronavirus had likely leaked from a laboratory in China. Our own government encouraged private companies to silence people who dared to utter what turned out to be an obvious truth. So I come here today not just with an
I
observation.
always find it very problematic when, like, we can always question, like, 9/11, the Gulf of Tonkin, Pearl Harbor, all these other events, the JFK assassination, but you can't ask any questions about COVID back then. That's very interesting.
But with an offer.
Moon landing,
Just
yeah.
as the Biden administration seemed desperate to silence people for speaking their minds, so the Trump administration will do precisely the opposite, and I hope that we can work together on that. In Washington, there is a new sheriff. And under Donald Trump's leadership, we may disagree with your views, but we will fight to defend your right to offer it in the public square, agree or disagree.
Not so many claps that time. Ooh. They didn't like that at all.
No, they
3
didn't.
people clapped.
Like 3 people clapped.
Now we're at the point, of course, that the situation has gotten
Yeah,
so bad
3 people
that
clapped.
this December, Romania straight up canceled the results of a presidential election.
Straight up
based
canceled.
on the flimsy suspicions of an intelligence agency and enormous pressure from its continental neighbors. Now, as I understand it, the argument was that Russian disinformation had infected the Romanian elections. But I'd ask my European friends to have some perspective. You can believe it's wrong for Russia to buy social media advertisements to influence your elections. We certainly do. You can condemn it on the world stage even. But if your democracy can be destroyed with a few $100,000 of digital advertising from a foreign country, then it wasn't very strong to begin with.
Very true.
I
Very
love this
true.
fucking guy, man. I really do.
That was very true. I'm not gonna lie, that was very true.
Yes, it's so funny.
That was very true.
Absolutely.
Wow.
He's up there roasting him, and I love how he'll pause for applause. Oh God, this is insane.
Yeah, this is pretty nuts. Yeah, he's roasting you and you're clapping.
Good news is that I happen to think your democracies are substantially less brittle than many people apparently fear. And I really do believe that allowing our
I wanna hear
citizens to
this.
speak their mind will make them stronger still. Which of course brings us back to Munich. where the organizers of this very conference have banned lawmakers representing populist parties on both the left and the right from participating in these
Obey
conversations.
me.
What?
Now, it's
Wait, what?
More mana.
And I really do believe that allowing our citizens to speak their minds will make them stronger still. Which, of course, brings us back to Munich, where the organizers of this very conference have banned lawmakers representing populist parties on both the left and the right from participating in these conversations.
What? So some parties are just not allowed?
Well, duh.
Oh my god. This is insane. So he's even calling out the event organizers at the... Yeah, absolutely. They're trying to ban AFD. In Germany, it's the AFD. Is anything not left is Nazi. Holy shit.
Out of mana.
Now, again, we don't have to agree with everything or anything that people say. But when people represent, when political leaders represent an important constituency, it is incumbent upon us to at least participate in dialogue with them.
I think he's completely right. How do you think that, like, how do you think that it's a good idea to just simply go and kick anybody out who disagrees with you?
Okay. Well, I know what I'm gonna do now.
Not at all. They're shitty indeed. AFD is pretty dumb though. Well, if they're so
I know
dumb,
exactly
then
what we're doing today.
talk, and then you'll prove them that they're stupid. If somebody's so fucking stupid, then just go ahead and let them talk. That's it.
Now, to many of us on the other side of the Atlantic, it looks more and more like old entrenched interests hiding behind ugly Soviet-era words like misinformation and
Yeah.
disinformation, who simply don't like the idea that somebody with an alternative viewpoint might express a different opinion or, God forbid, vote
Level
a different way,
72.
or even worse,
Yeah.
win an election.
Yep.
Now, this is a security conference, and I'm sure you all came here prepared to talk about how exactly you intend to increase defense spending over the next few years in line with some new target.
Nope.
And that's great, because as President Trump has made abundantly clear, he believes that our European friends must play a bigger role in the future of this continent.
Yeah, of course.
We don't think you hear this term, burden sharing, but we think it's an important part of being in a shared alliance together that the Europeans step up while America focuses on areas of the world that are in great danger.
Sure.
But let me also ask you, how will you even begin to think through the kinds of budgeting questions if we don't know what it is that we are defending in the first place? I've heard a lot already in my conversations, and I've had many, many great conversations with many people gathered here in this room. I've heard a lot about what you need to defend yourselves from, and of course that's important. But what has seemed a little bit less clear to me, and certainly I think to many of the citizens of Europe, is what exactly it is that you're defending yourselves for. What is the positive vision that animates this shared security compact that we all believe is so important? And I believe deeply that there is no security if you are afraid of the voices, the opinions, and the conscience that guide your very own people.
Man.
Coming soon. I got something that is literally says coming soon. What the fuck?
It's actually crazy.
Yo,
Like,
I got like a
comeback,
fucking
literally every-
item. The
a smart politician, holy
Oh,
fuck. Yeah,
fuck.
this guy is good, man. He's dissing the entire EU government from the stage. Yeah, and they have to sit in the audience. This man is the next president. I mean, I'll tell you, I would vote for him for sure. Like, I like him a lot. I think he's great.
Europe faces many challenges, but the crisis this continent faces right now, the crisis I believe we all face together, is one of our
It's a little
own
26.
If you're running in fear of your own voters, there is nothing America
Pretty fucking
can
cool.
do for you. Nor, for that matter, is there anything that you can do for the American people who elected me and elected President Trump. You need democratic mandates to accomplish anything of value in the coming years. Have we learned nothing that thin mandates produce unstable results? But there is so much of value that can be accomplished with the kind of democratic mandate that I think will come from being more responsive to the voices of your citizens.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that people are being suppressed. And he's making the U.S. looking an idiot from our perspective. America will stand alone in 4 years. Really? Because, like, I bet there's a lot of people in Europe that listen to this and they agree. And I feel like the more, you know, truck drivers that go into crowds that happen, like, I feel like the only reason why people in Europe wouldn't agree in this is because Europe has tried to carefully construct a media apparatus that actively deceives people of what's really happening. I feel like that's the only case and the only explanation for why something like this would happen. Bullshit? Well, it's not though, right? Because, like, they don't report a lot of these things. They report them in misleading ways. They don't report on whether somebody is a migrant or not. Somebody who's trying to push a narrative like that and talk about it gets arrested. I mean, I don't know. I've seen all of Europe. Well, no, that's a great point. That's a great point. All of the places in Europe don't do all of these things. But there's enough of them to where there's a problem. The immigrants are American haters and they're going to take over the whole Europe within a few years? I don't know. It just, I mean, like, from my perspective, it seems like Europe, like, this is me, like, as an American, what the fuck do I know, right? And, you know, I'm sure it's Europeans that are like, oh, America is like this or that, and I'm like, that's stupid. So if you're a European, you think that, that's fine. I feel like Europe is, like, massively fucking censored. And I think
Oh yeah, it is super censored.
really pushing this. And
Government
I don't even
is.
understand, like, what their end game is behind it.
Their end game is power, bro.
If you're going to enjoy competitive economies, if you're
It's like,
going
in my opinion, I feel like if you can't have free expression and the free, like, the free marketplace of ideas, you can't have anything. You can't build off of anything. You can't plan anything. You can't base anything off of reality at all. So, like, if you don't have that, you don't have anything. And I can't see another way around that. Especially whenever they use, like, terms that are so loose and they just apply it to people that they disagree with.
Yeah,
You're
that's
totally
very true.
right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he gave a lot of examples, and I don't think that you would agree with those examples, right? I mean, unless maybe they didn't happen. Maybe he's all lying. There are 30 governments. What are you talking about? Yeah, I know. Obviously, like, every government isn't the same. I'm saying the ones that are doing it are bad. Yeah, of course. I mean, logically, of course, that's what I would be saying.
to enjoy affordable energy and secure supply chains, then you need mandates to govern, because you have to make difficult choices to enjoy all of these things. And of course, we know that very well in America. You cannot win a democratic mandate by censoring your opponents or putting them in jail.
Yeah,
Whether that's the leader of the opposition, a humble Christian praying in her own home, or a journalist trying to report the news.
Yeah.
Nor can you win one by disregarding your basic electorate on questions like who gets to be a part of our shared society. And of all the pressing challenges that the nations represented here face, I believe there is nothing more urgent than mass migration. Today,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What if it's
He went there,
engineered?
yep.
What if it's socially engineered mass migration?
Oh, jeez.
What if it was engineered
today,
by
almost
the
1 in
government?
5 people living in this country moved here from abroad. That is, of course, an all-time high. It's a similar number, by the way, in the United States, also an all-time high. The number of immigrants who entered the EU from non-EU countries
Yes.
doubled between 2021 and 2022 alone.
What the fuck? Holy shit.
And of course, it's gotten much higher since. And we know this situation, it didn't materialize in a vacuum. It's the result of a series of conscious decisions made by politicians all over the continent and others across the world over the span
Is
of a
it
decade.
just Ukraine? Oh, if it's just Ukraine, then that would make sense. Yeah.
We saw the horrors wrought by these decisions yesterday in this very city. And of course, I can't bring it up again without thinking about the terrible victims who had a beautiful winter day in Munich ruined. Our thoughts and prayers are with them and will remain with them. But why did this happen in the first place? It's a terrible story, but it's one we've heard way too many times in Europe and unfortunately too many times in the United States as well. An asylum seeker, often a young man in his mid-20s, already known to police, rams a car into a crowd and shatters a community.
Well, they told him to leave too, right? Like he had deportation orders or his asylum had been denied? And they just said, all right, well, there it is. Well, figure it out. His asylum had been, his asylum had been denied, but he had been allowed to stay?
Fucking idiot does that shit. What?
How many times must we suffer these appalling setbacks before we change course and take
Oh my
our
God.
Wait,
shared
you give
civilization
somebody a
in
reason
the
to stay to actually
No
commit
group
crimes
of
like that,
Congress
then.
went to the ballot box to open the floodgates to millions of unvetted immigrants. But you know what they did vote for? In England, they voted for Brexit, and agree or disagree, they voted for it. And more all over Europe, they're voting for political leaders who promise to put an end to out-of-control migration. Now, I happen to agree with a lot of these concerns, but you don't have to agree with me. I just think that people care about their homes, they care about their dreams, they care about their safety and their capacity to provide for themselves and their children. And they're smart. I think this is one of the most important things I've learned in my brief time in politics. Contrary to what you might hear a couple mountains over in Davos, the citizens of all of our nations don't generally think of themselves as educated animals or as interchangeable cogs of a global economy.
No fucking way. Bro. He watched Sam's video. That's the exact vocabulary Sam Hyde used. Oh my God. Yeah, he did? Yeah. Jesus.
And it's hardly surprising that they don't want to be shuffled about or relentlessly ignored by their leaders. And it is the business of democracy to adjudicate these big questions at the ballot box. I believe that dismissing people, dismissing their concerns, or worse yet, shutting down media, shutting down elections, or shutting people out of the political process protects nothing. In fact, it is the most surefire way to destroy democracy. And speaking up and expressing opinions isn't election interference. Even when people express views outside your own country, and even when those people are very influential. And trust me, I say this with all humor, if American democracy can survive 10 years of Greta Thunberg scolding, you guys can survive a few months of Elon Musk. But what German democracy, what no democracy, American, German, or European, will survive is telling millions of voters that their thoughts and concerns, their aspirations, their pleas for relief are invalid or unworthy of
Well,
even
it's not even invalid. It's illegal. You can't even have these opinions. You can't express them.
being considered. Democracy rests on the sacred principle that the voice of the people matters.
Oh, boy.
There's no room for firewalls. You either uphold the principle or you don't. Europeans, the people, have a voice. European leaders have a choice. And my strong belief is that we do not need to be afraid of the future. You can embrace what your people tell you, even when it's surprising, even when you don't agree. And if you do so, you can face the future with certainty and with confidence, knowing that the nation stands behind each of you. And that, to me, is the great magic of democracy. It's not in these stone buildings or beautiful hotels. It's not even in the great institutions that we have built together as a shared society.
Hey,
To believe in democracy is to understand
this
that
is all over the place,
has
man.
wisdom and has a voice. And if we refuse to listen to that voice, even our most successful fights will secure very little. As Pope John Paul II,
Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, like, and if people can't even vote, they don't even let certain parties into the elections or into these like conventions or conferences. Like, that's nuts, man. Jesus.
in my view, one of the most extraordinary champions of democracy on this continent or any other, once said, "Do not be afraid." We shouldn't be afraid of our people, even when they express views that disagree with their leadership. Thank you all. Good luck to all of you. God bless you.
Man. Holy shit. That is wild. Well, well-spoken bunch of bullshit. I don't think it's bullshit. I mean, what part of it is
It's-
bullshit? I feel like
There's
it's
a
pretty
bunch of
fucking
mixed
accurate, I would say.
mixed shit with. There's a bunch of mixed shit. I definitely think that was a bag of mixed shit. Not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna watch that from Penguin Zoo.
There's a reason Marvel refused to show Spider-Man's face in Deadpool and Wolverine. So when Deadpool travels to Earth 616 for his interview with Happy,
I want to be an Avenger. I wasn't aware that you were an Avenger.
Avengers adjacent, technically.
Wow. What's your superpower? Is it parallel parking? I'm so sorry. That was cruel.
you can see that Peter Parker's image with Tony Stark is blocked by the helmet from Iron Man 2. I believe there are two reasons why his face was hidden. First, Marvel cannot legally feature Peter in the movie without paying Sony, so they use the helmet to cover him and avoid any legal issues.
Well, I don't want to hear the second one at that point. You should have just said what the better one. I just think that shit was. Shut up.
Let's look at this Elden Ring Night Rain stuff. The game's gonna
I'm gonna listen to this as well. By the way,
The Wilder.
gotta use the bathroom, everyone.
Do Wild and Out. Okay. So you can do like a grip, like a death grip, kind of. Okay. That's decent. Okay. 2% damage taken? Well, yeah, it's a baseline mob. Like, these guys are pretty early in the game. These are early in Liurnia. Damn. Okay. So I don't know what other abilities they have, because there's like certain roguelite elements to it as well. Yeah, the pile bunker? Not exactly, but close. Yep. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm very excited about this. I'm going to be really curious to see kind of how... okay, so this is what I'm going to play. I guess I have to be Sun Raku, and I'm a bird boy. So how does bird boy work? I wonder if you have perfect parries. Okay, so this is like a special attack. Is this coming out or just a playtest? It's just a playtest. That's really fucking good. I'm actually really curious like how much stagger damage that does though. That's what's really gonna make it good or not. That's crazy. I feel like that breaks a lot of bosses too. Like how does that not break a boss like Moenia? I guess she probably won't even be in the demo, so it won't matter. But like still, like I feel like a lot of attacks are horizontal. This is some sort of like a shield thing. Okay. It staggers bosses, so it's really good. Yeah, I'm gonna look at some more footage of it. Those are cooldowns normally. The Duchess. So is this like your traditional ranged class? Or not ranged, your rogue class? So she has a dash, kind of like a Bloodborne. Yeah. Oh. Oh yeah. That like mirrors the damage that they take. I remember seeing this before. I'm gonna be real, like this class seems really fucking good. Especially with that attack backwards thing. That's why I feel like so many people use Bloodhound Step, because how good it is.
Camelot 331 here, and it seems like GameStop decided to try to troll a little bit on the internet.
How are you, Miss Gamers? How are you, gentlemen?
We have a problem.
Welcome to videos. Tag both of us in crazy videos. Instagram Reels, especially her. Just tag her in a lot.
Hello.
She deserves it.
What up, in Red? Gecko, how you doing today?
Not too much.
Yeah.
Gotta go pick up medication, so chilling out in the truck smoking a cigar before I head in.
That's funny. It's going to happen.
What's up with you today?
Just hanging out. You know, fucking. I don't know. Just gonna be grinding, streaming, and yeah.
About their bad behavior.
You hit level 70 yet?
I'm level 78. Yeah. Trying to hit level 79.
Dude, isn't this guy off the rails?
Yeah, that's what comes after 78 or so, I'm told.
Yeah. Well, it's a bitch and a half to get there.
If it was easy, it would be called grinding.
Literally.
It's crazy.
I hate it. I can't.
The worst part is that you lose.
Every time
Like,
I try, I get a migraine immediately after.
yeah, you lose experience every time you die.
Well, that sucks.
Yep, so that's been my issue this whole time.
When they come out with an RPG where you start losing experience for taking days off, that's really gonna suck.
Yeah, that's why I don't. That's one of those I don't play.
No.
I'm not a bitch. What up, Pistol? How you doing, buddy? How's the game going? Playing old school RuneScape, right?
Nah, I don't play RuneScape. Never got into it.
Homie in my chat, who actually was watching earlier this morning. They were streaming and whatnot. So, like sometimes I raid out to them actually. They're usually on when I'm getting off in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. They're part of a streamer community I was a part of.
That's like alchemy. What are you talking about?
That's Elder Scrolls, brother. That's Soulmate. That's Soulmate. You wanna live forever? Soul Gem.
Okay.
And then I could reanimate Kevin.
I just want you to find what part of it.
I could make an infinite reusable Soul Gem, and then theoretically have all of our dogs live forever.
Okay, make that happen. That would be the best.
So what do you think about that asteroid they say is coming towards Earth?
Couldn't come sooner. Don't tease me with a good time.
It's supposed to be able to wipe out an entire city if it hits.
If it hits, it'll probably do a lot more than that.
Oh yeah, it alters the global climate for sure.
Show that to Post Malone.
All the dust that would be ejected into
I mean, that's very impressive.
yeah, into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
Bro, don't do that. Get him mad.
Very true, very true. They do a lot of fucked up shit, trust me. It would definitely throw a lot of dust into the air, and then, you have to think of what it would do as it's hitting the atmosphere, and if it's able to actually stay a pretty decent size. What is it doing, what they're bringing with it, too,
Yeah.
I think he
Maybe it'll bring some meteoric iron. Not a whole lot of that on Earth.
True.
There's a type of iron that can only be made through the superheating and slow cooling of elemental iron that takes place over thousands of years in space.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes for some really, really cool looking
See, I like malachite.
striations in metal.
I like malachite. I think that's meteorite, basically, like a gem that comes from meteorite. Malachite.
People don't look like that often nowadays.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that comes from meteor. If they've had any that came from meteors or not. I know it's found on Earth.
I heard that too. Yeah, hell yeah.
I heard it fall.
I don't know about in
Honestly,
space.
But then again, George Washington shall never tell a lie. Our dogs would all do this. Oh.
Yo, what?
Yeah, the little dogs, they're absolute.
Oh yeah, they're so sweet. I miss them.
Yeah, me too. That looks juicy.
Malachite is a bright green, opaque
This guy just makes a
copper
bunch of
carbonate
orange
hydroxide
slices. He makes his own
material
orange
with a
slices. It's
distinctive
crazy.
banded color.
Ooh, those are
It
good.
is a minor copper
Me too.
ore, but
I
is
am
more commonly
wrong
used
with
as a
that
decorative
then.
metal.
There's a stone, I can't remember what it's made of. It's called M.
Isn't that awesome?
That's terrible.
What a
It starts with an M.
shit.
Well, you might well be talking
My
about
gay dad
malachite.
lights
It's,
up like
it's
a little kid on Christmas every time he
but
watches
yeah, when it's
Chappelle
cut,
Roan.
polished, it's
Aww. You
set
love
in
her.
jewelry
I'm not
and
even gay,
sold as a
I like
gemstone.
Chappelle Roan.
even though it's not a stone,
I
it's
mean,
metal.
she's awesome.
Interesting.
That's awesome. I like that a lot. I think that I've never seen a video that matched an
So
audio.
it forms
to
when
video
carbonate-rich
than this video.
rocks react with copper-rich water. It's often found in caverns with, above large copper deposits.
Grandpa's old and he looks fun.
Oh, the game definitely.
It's often found with an associated material called azurite, which is blue.
Can restart this? Yeah, I fucking hate what they've done to my fucking. They whatever update they did for this 5090 shit really fucked everything, dude.
A sample of pure azurite can cost over $100 grand.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Azurite turns green as it decays into malachite.
That's funny.
That would be why. That would be a good reason why it's so expensive, and why they're found in the same seams.
That makes sense.
Damn, that is fucking beautiful. Take a look at the chat and Discord.
Let's see. That's pretty cool. And it turns
pretty color.
It turns fucking green.
Yep. As it decays.
That's pretty ridiculous. That's why that malachite can be expensive.
This is cut and polished malachite. And that is cut and polished azurite.
Yeah. I've had malachite before. I need to figure out how to like roll back this driver.
that is a cut and polished piece of meteoric iron with the visible Windenstatten pattern. Man, a blade made of that would be cool as shit.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Dude, there's a company that makes a 1911 out of meteoric iron.
It's so ridiculous. Welcome.
Hello.
Oh my god.
I'm back to sleep and I woke up about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Not too bad.
What are you doing?
I am fucking jamming away here. Path of Exiles, trying to look up how to revert my GPU to the driver to a earlier driver.
What the fuck happened?
Because the driver they had is really bad. It's literally shit.
Oh god.
It's real shit. And it's making my 3090 not like this. I've done everything to change my like system to uninstall and do shit, but like it's not working. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't expect that they'll be purchased anytime soon. This is a picture of the meteoric iron 1911s.
Yeah, that's probably super expensive.
That matching pair, Cabot Guns is trying to sell for $4.5 million.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, not at all. Get actually dicked out of the money. Get absolutely dicked.
NVIDIA did drop driver that fucked your 3090 up.
It is causing my 3090 to not work correctly. Whatever their upload was. Driver. They has made my 3090 fucking start working like shit.
Wow.
So I'm trying to figure out how to roll back the older version.
But yeah, I'm up. I'll be on Path of Exile soon. I'm gonna need help getting through this area. And
I hope you get on and I'm still like, functioning because I'm gonna be tired at one point. So I hope you do it quickly.
I'll be on in like 40 minutes. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm gonna go take a nap now then because you're gonna take forever.
Of course I'm gonna take forever. I take a good hour just to get out of bed most of the time.
I know, so I'm gonna take a fucking nap while streaming. Alright. Alright, man, alright. Cool. Alright, cool.
I got an email from my apartment complex.
That's not good. Never want to see an email.
It was sent on the 13th. They're like, hey, we've been getting complaints. Like, it was sent to every single resident. It's like, hey, we're getting complaints of people smelling smoking and everything. Mind you, mainly the fucking weed smell that people smoke.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that there are people that smoke weed in this apartment complex. And they're like, please remember that smoking or vaping, it's not allowed in the. There, hold up. Let me read you the goddamn fucking email because it's so goddamn fucking It's so goddamn hilarious. It's like, as you know, this email was sent on 127/25, reminding all residents that so and so is a non-smoking property. You are not allowed to smoke inside your unit, on your
Yeah,
patio or balcony,
yeah.
etc.
Make sure you don't
We
dox
do have a
yourself.
No, I didn't. I didn't say my apartment complex's name.
Yeah, good job,
Like
dude.
that, all
I'm very
residents
proud
that
of you
so
for not being an idiot.
I I'm never an idiot when it comes to my location. So it says we do have designated area for smoking near the mailroom in Building 12. We have continued to receive emails regarding smoke smells in buildings. Violations will be issued to residents who are added to who are found to be in violation of the policy, and fines will be added to your account as well. Please refer to your lease agreement for further information. Like, okay, so the thing is that there's people like this apartment complex is decently big. There's only one smoking area. Somebody's not going to walk 7-10 minutes to a smoking area just to go smoke a cigarette. They're going to, especially in the dead of winter, they're not going to do that just to be able to go smoke. They're going to smoke in their home and make sure that they're not freezing their ass off.
I'm downloading a driver, everybody. It's gonna take a second. Yeah, if I can try to fix this shit. I'm gonna go grab some milk. I'm gonna grab some milk. Maybe some coffee too. Who knows?
I need to grab coffee. Yeah, so that basically it's really it's really dumb. Buddy, I need to get up so I can go pee. Get up, man. Wow, you're taking my spot. Oh, fuck, my back.
Let's see if it's ready.
I'm back. Sorry, I was taking a piss.
Oh, man. You do that. I was downstairs grabbing something to drink.
I will say that I'm talking about my apartment complex. The reason why you're having complaints about cigarette smells or weed smells, then again, weed it's still illegal in Texas, which I think is dumb. My doggo being.
My cat was being a thing. My cat was being quite a boy earlier today.
My doggo's just being lazy right now. Well, then again, he's all. It's 3, 2.
Oh boy.
Let me pull up the board. Alrighty, I switched to my PC. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna go take Doggo for a walk. And yeah. And I need to get coffee.
Hey.
Hey. How are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm hyper as a piglet.
Alright.
I can just go wee.
What up, Pistoy? Hey, Dread.
Who said Dread? I'm not Dread. I'm Dan. I'm like the man of the hour. I'm Dan the man with the master plan.
I gotta figure out how to like what the delete. Okay.
I can hear that my butt's having fun, but I don't think my body's
Tech.
having
We're just gonna delete this shit.
I wish I told Liquid how his graphics card may be the hint of his broadcasts. Was
What?
he using the computer version?
What?
Liquid was having some problems with his broadcast.
Yeah, I did not know any of it.
I tried to help out, but I kept silent. That's one thing I could do because I hate to make a. I like my chicken wings.
Nice.
Make them nice and whatever.
Max, did you smack your tail into the fan again? Was that your tail going into the fan? by. Let's see which. What folder would that technically be? Would that be the folder that we're in? Tough manager, that shit. What's up, Max? Next. Why don't you go right here, Max? Why don't you go right here? Go chill, Max. Yeah. I'm trying to delete certain things off of my C drive, so I can actually like try to download a file.
You know what I say about wasting space on the computer? Porn has so much stuff on it that it wastes your hard drive space.
What?
And it wastes your wiener away. All it does is just make you clumsy and horny, and then suddenly it's all gone.
What?
I would say porno is a waste of space.
What? What? I mean, there are two different things. Downloading porn, storing it, and masturbating are two different things. You can't equate one to the other. Porn is just a medium for one to quote unquote view art of the human body.
Yes, I like to view art of the human body, especially with the furry.
Okay. Okay. But ready, the thing is though, it still doesn't mean Max, what do you want, man? What do you want? What do you want, cat?
Does my eyes deceive me? Is this chicken wings?
That's what your mom said like a minute ago. I heard that.
Yeah. Hopefully they're not too spicy. There's some that are just chicken wings, just plain old chicken wings.
Mm-hmm.
I like old chicken wings, even though they're not spicy.
Yeah. I have to delete this fucking. I have to delete this other game. Oh, I got it.
Well, it seems like my chicken wings are too hot to even touch because they're not spicy. I mean, like, hot, as in degrees hot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna set my plate down and wait until it cools off.
Nice. Yeah, definitely do that.
Because having hot food in your stomach could cause some sort of.
No. Heartburn's acid reflux. Stop
What does it cause? What does it cause in the stomach when it's really hot?
it.
Talk about degrees hot.
In degrees hot. It'll actually that actually does like physical burning. You're talking physical burning.
Oh.
That's actually physical burn, not chemical burn.
I know. It would hurt the way down.
It hurt the whole way from mouth all the way down, bro. Shit.
Yeah, and plus the acid that's in there will say, hot, 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 hot.
Oh my god. I'm gonna uninstall that. I actually don't use it. I just want that part to be uninstalled. Damn, that was fast. That's me, by the way, everybody. That's not you. You're hearing that. Hello. What? Why? Oh shit, the door's locked. Bye. What the fuck? Give me a second, everybody. I'm having downloading issues with this shit. Right, we're back again.
Early 2000s culture, like supermotos. It seems like every 5 or 7 years they kind of ebb and flow like the tides of motorcycling. Sometimes they're cool, sometimes they're not, but it kind of feels like they're really coming back, don't you think? Supermotos are just this wonderful fixture of early 2000s culture, like Jinko jeans or Viva La Bam. The extreme sports were just in the water at that time. And if you didn't live through that, well, honestly, I just feel sorry for you. You missed out. But you can capture some of that magic by riding a supermoto, which combines some of the best elements of motocross, flat track, road racing, all wrapped up in one fun, pint-sized package that loves to do wheelies. What's not to like? Now look, motorcycling is very niche already, and supermotos are a niche within a niche. But as other forms of motorcycling has grown over time, supermotos have gotten a little obscure. But again, there's some really cool new models coming out that suggest that there's plenty of interest in them now.
Hello.
So let's break it down and find out if supermotos are really coming back. Okay, so what exactly is a supermoto? You might look at something like Suzuki's DRZ 400 SM or the Kawasaki KLX 300 SM, and you might say, well, it's a dual sport bike with road-going tires and 17-inch wheels and long travel suspension, and that's kind of it, right? And while that's a little bit reductive and kind of true, a real supermoto is a motorcycle that was derived from racing and that is typically way more rowdy and raucous because of the way it's designed, built, and the way it revs out. It's the same way that when you ride a motocross dirt bike versus a dual sport, you can see a pretty big night and day difference. Or how a standard bone stock street legal 1000cc motorcycle absolutely pales in comparison compared to a MotoGP bike. Calm down, supermoto kids. I'm not saying your bike's like a MotoGP bike. It's called an analogy. Look it up, and that's a big word for you. Supermoto racing dates back to the 1970s, if you can believe it. The term was coined in 1979 by Gavin Tripp, where it served as a segment on the show of Wide World of Sports. This segment was originally composed of talented racers from the world of motorcycling, which is pretty neat. So you'd see road racers and motocross guys all competing in this supermoto category to see kind of who was best. Whereas today, supermoto is its own distinct thing that doesn't really see a lot of crossover from other athletes. Supermoto racing is a unique hybridization of different forms of motorcycling, and the races are commonly held on road racing tracks or even medium-sized go-kart tracks. The paved segments are juxtaposed with an off-road section made up of packed clay that's used to make bermed corners and jumps similar to those found in motocross. It's sort of like the best of both worlds. You get to do some jumps, you get to do some slides. It seems like a lot of fun. Due to the all-encompassing nature of a supermoto track and really the idea that you can't really build a purpose-built motorcycle for it, you kind of had to make do with the dirt bike with street tires and street wheels on it. Often with the addition of specialized suspension for that. You're not going to have crazy, dirt bike suspension, and you can't have very rigid sport bike suspension. It needs to be somewhere in the middle for these motorcycles. But unlike the relatively lazy and long-running dual sports we've seen, as the aforementioned DRZ 400 comes to mind, which has been updated to the DRZ 4, supermoto bikes use extremely high-strung motors that make ridiculous amounts of power. If you've never ridden a real 450 supermoto, you're in for a treat. It makes a ton of torque, and it's so lightweight, but it's often at the expense of crazy service intervals and not EPA compliant. So these bikes are often sold as off-road competition use only. Even though some people end up plating them and riding them on the street, they really are race bikes. So if you want a motorcycle that can go more than 5,000 miles between an oil change, go 70 miles an hour, isn't going to rattle itself to death, and will be somewhat comfortable to ride and pass EPA emissions, you're going to need something like a dual sport or something a little bit more chilled out. And you're just going to have to sacrifice power. A lot of it. Like half as much power. But by the 90s and early 2000s, supermotos weren't just dirt-converted motorcycles. As Supermoto grew in popularity, some OEMs started offering factory Supermotos, which was very interesting to people. They sold
I'll go back.
track-only high-performance variants and as road-going models of some other motorcycles that they had, which is pretty cool. European brands like KTM and Husqvarna were some of the first to offer OE Supermotos, and it still kind of stands today that if you want kind of a King Dick Supermoto, you go KTM or Husky, to be perfectly honest. The rest of the big four didn't really jump on this bandwagon until a decade later, which honestly kind of reflects global racing efforts in general nowadays, where like European manufacturers are just way ahead of the curve because they're willing to try stuff, and then the Japanese are always slowly playing catch up. Yeah, it's not 2009 anymore. Repsol doesn't even sponsor Honda. We are in unprecedented times. Marc Marquez is on a Ducati, but we're not talking about MotoGP in this video. KTM produced the 450 SMR and the 560 SMR. They were both super high output, ultra lightweight, very, very capable supermoto bikes. And for street use, they sold the 625 and the 650 SMCR. And they were heavier, no doubt, and featured a little bit more torque, but they were still super fun and relatively lightweight. And even to this day, you can go to a KTM dealership and pick up a 450 SMR or a 690 SMCR, which are both fantastic supermoto offerings for street and track. I don't know how much longer you'll be able to do that because KTM might not be solvent for the next couple of years, but you still can right now go pick up those motorcycles. Even the earliest Duke models, and still to this day, KTM street offerings always have a bit of a supermoto flavor to them. If you ride a new KTM Duke 390, you can feel some of the supermoto energy. And in fact, as we'll talk later in this video, there is a new 390 Supermoto that's based on the Duke 390. So a lot of those kind of attitudes are interchangeable amongst the models. And of course, being a sister company to KTM, Husqvarna does sell the 701, which is highly based on the 690 platform from KTM. And when I say highly based, it is virtually the same motorcycle with some changes. But prior to that acquisition by KTM, Husqvarna was making their own Supermotos, like the SM610. Even Aprilia threw their hat into the ring with the SXV 450 and 550, and these were pretty sweet because they had a V-twin engine, and these were a far cry from supermotos even at the time because this thing was making 70 horsepower out of a 550cc V-twin. Yeah, that's mega spicy. The big four started catching wind that this was a growing market, and they of course copied what the Europeans were doing, as they had been doing for many, many years. And the Japanese were like, hey, we can offer something reliable and cool and something that somebody really wants to ride. So Suzuki and Yamaha took a bit of a different tack to this, and they said, hey, why don't we take our dual-purpose trail-style motorcycles that have these bulletproof Japanese-built engines and make dual sport bikes and supermotos out of those. And instead of lasting a couple hundred miles, they actually now last tens of thousands of miles without much need for maintenance at all. That's why in 2005, Suzuki launched the DRZ 400 SM. That was a supermoto variant using their tried and true 399cc single-cylinder dual sport platform. And that's really one of the darling supermoto bikes that you can go and buy because it's basically unkillable. It's a bit of a pig, but you basically get everything a dual sport and supermoto bike can do, but in a package that is just a ton of fun. Yamaha also made the WR250X, which was the supermoto variant of their beloved WR250R, which is one of my personal all-time favorite motorcycles. Many devout and devoted supermoto enthusiasts also just go and buy two-stroke or four-stroke motocross bikes and turn them into supermoto motorcycles by putting on mirrors and compliant exhaust or changing out the tires and the wheels and kind of doing the whole conversion themselves, but that is a ton of work. We of course love Rockform for their rock solid phone cases and motorcycle handlebar mounts, but they keep adding more and more new accessories that allow you to capitalize and expand on your existing setup. With a Rockform phone case in hand, you can attach it to a mount on your bike, on the dash of your car, and now even on a camera tripod. As more and more people get into motorcycle content creation, the Rockform tripod mount is a super convenient piece of kit. The 1/4-inch threads attached to any standard camera tripod, and the magnetic phone attachment allows you to super quickly attach your phone to get the perfect shot. The base of the mount is magnetic as well, so you can quickly slap the mount onto a metal surface, snap your phone onto the other side,
know
and
if I'll
set
be
up
able
your
to
shot
use it.
without even having to use a tripod. Rockform has an astounding track record for high build quality and rugged durability, and this mount is no different. With a super strong magnet, especially paired with a Rockform case, you know your phone isn't going to budge. Rockform's been a longtime Yammanu partner, and their support is invaluable. If you enjoy your existing Rockform products and have an interest in using your phone for photography or video, click the link below and check out the tripod mount. Yammanu viewers get 25% discount as well if you use the code YN25. So hit that link in the description, use that code YN25 for 25% off. Thanks so much to Rockform for the support. Now let's get back to the show. By the late 2010s, supermotos started to really decline in popularity. The whole motorcycle industry in general declined after 2008, and riders' changes and tastes started to become pretty different than what they used to be. No matter how fun a supermoto bike is, it's seen as a weird, aberrant, and kind of just toy-esque quality of motorcycling. Their impractical, small displacement engines made them very buzzy at highway speeds, not really capable of achieving very high top speeds, and their super upright positioning made them really not very nice to ride for long distances. For riders who were in search of fun, torquey, upright motorcycles that could do
What the
wheelies really
fuck?
well, the 2010s were
What else?
rife
This
with
fucking bullshit.
options. I think about
Yeah,
something like the Yamaha
I need
MT-07 or the
844.71
It has
megabytes.
supermoto flavor, but a little bit more grown up. And at the end of the day, supermotos, while they are torquey and very quick off the line, they're not particularly fast. Most of them top out at under 100 miles an hour, and for most riders, that's just simply not enough.
What the
legs.
fuck is going
Riders
on
were simply
now?
looking for more versatile, interesting bikes that could do a little bit more of everything. They could commute, go to the track, go to weekend canyon carving rides, and ultimately do a little bit of every
Let's
kind of
see
street riding.
something.
If you only got room in the garage for one single motorcycle, the supermoto probably isn't going to cut it. And as a result, very few factory supermotos were offered into the 2010s, except for KTM and Husqvarna, which continued building them. But many of the Japanese simply gave up. The WR250X went out of production, popularity waned and declined. The DRZ 400SM was still sold.
See if it actually works or not.
But that's good. Suzuki just didn't want to pay the R&D tax and, you know, make it Euro 5 compliant, so they just were grandfathered in and kept building it that way. But as we know, trends are cyclical, and if Y2K fashion is coming back, there's no reason supermoto bikes aren't going to as well, and we are really seeing this ramp up now. A lot of new riders are getting into motorcycling because of the content they see on social media, and honestly, nothing looks cooler than a supermoto bike cracking a super sick balance point wheelie. So if you're a new rider, you could get a Ninja 400 and go practice figure eights in the parking lot and wear all of your gear and blah 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 and do it that way. Or you could get a KLX 300 SM, kind of put on some mixed gear and kind of go ride it in the dirt a little bit, or pop some wheelies, or just pretend like you're a kid with your first bicycle again. Across the board in motorcycling, there's been a giant renewed interest in small, affordable, fun motorcycles. Younger riders aren't really as eager to take out a giant loan on some big, stupid, powerful motorcycle they're never going to own. Sure, some Instagram flex offenders will do that, and they will die with their S1000
Flex
double wall,
offenders.
but, many people aren't doing it. So
That's a good
let's
one.
round up what's going on in this new market. You have the KLX 300 SM, which was Kawasaki's new offering from a couple years ago. It has a 292cc single-cylinder engine, 17-inch wheels front and rear.
We're
and
trying to
it really
download
fits the bill. It's
a
little anemic,
driver,
it's a little bit
everybody.
bones and basic, but hey, it's a supermoto being made from the factory, and that's pretty cool. And it would be
I
one of
definitely
the
haven't
darling
left
Japanese
space.
bikes were it not for the newly released DRZ4. I really didn't think this bike would happen, but it did, and it's kind of cool. However, with making just 38 horsepower, still a 5-speed box, this isn't quite the brand new bike we were all hoping for, but it is cool that it exists. As mentioned previously, KTM updated a bunch of models in their lineup, and the new 390 platform now features a 390 SMCR, which is really quite cute if you look at it correctly. And of course, KTM, Husqvarna, and GasGas all have their own 690-based platform motorcycles for the supermoto category, which a lot of people don't really consider the 690 a real supermoto, but if you're going to be that much of a purist about it, just go somewhere else, boys. And heck, I didn't have this on my bingo card a few years ago, but Ducati released a single-cylinder Hypermotard, and I just rode and reviewed that one, and it was fantastic, and that technically is a supermoto-styled motorcycle if we're going to consider the 701 a supermoto bike as well. And again, many of the purists are going to say that it's not a real bike, but I think it is. It's about the ethos and the spirit. It's a real supermoto. There's even offerings from Sherco now. You have maybe Triumph going to release a supermoto since they've just seen some good success with their Supercross and their new dirt bikes. There's a lot of stuff happening in the supermoto space, and I really kind of have to credit those crazy Instagram clips of people sliding the bikes around kart tracks and having a ton of fun and showing what can be done with these machines. So look, at the end of the day, supermotos are simply not going to be as popular as basically any other subsect of motorcycling. They have an outsized reputation and you see a lot of content, but the sales numbers just don't lie. They're not the most popular category of bike. But I do think they are one of the most important. As a super pure way of riding a motorcycle on the street, one that is pretty stripped down, simple, bare bones, can do wheelies, is torquey, is fun, and a supermoto can't be beat.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna take a minute on my